Happening now, the latest in a nationwide social media threat that's impacting local schools today, plus one local nursing home giving back to their employees in a big way.
Well, the sun is a-shining out there for this Friday, but it all goes downhill tomorrow. We'll talk about the mess of precipitation we've got as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Several schools across Chautauqua County closed this morning following threats of violence nationwide, with police in one local district asking parents to take another look at their child's social media. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Last night, Ellicott police officer's school resource officer was alerted by the Southwestern High School principal about a specific threat by a student. As a precaution, the school closed today. While Ellicott Police Sergeant Daniel Ingrail tells us his department doesn't specifically believe that this threat is related to those national TikTok posts warning of school shootings and bombings across the country, the posts need to be taken seriously. The social media threats had many educators on edge as they circulated in the aftermath of a deadly school shooting in Michigan, which has been followed by numerous copycat threats elsewhere. The trending post promoted two districts in Chautauqua County, Gowanda and Pine Valley, to close. Several other schools, including Jamestown Public Schools, have dispelled the rumors, citing no credible threat here in Jamestown.
Indirectly, social media in general is to blame for probably the majority of it. We certainly recommend that parents try and stay involved in their children's social media aspects. As far as law enforcement perspective, that's something that we're always monitoring. We take every situation like this very seriously, and we address every individual issue as it comes to us.
Now, in Southwestern, the sergeant explains the school student will not likely face charges as the district is expected to take action to discipline them. Well, Chautauqua County Sheriff is asking for your help in locating several dirt bikes stolen from a storage facility in Dunkirk earlier this month. Deputies were dispatched to a Bennett Road address on December 4th to investigate a past tense burglary. 3 Honda bikes and 2 Yamaha bikes were stolen, along with a 55-inch TV. Additionally, deputies say another camper on the property was damaged as the burglars attempted to break in. Anyone with information is asked to contact Investigator Vara at 716-753-4910. The St. Susan Center kicked off its annual Community Holiday Haul at the Jamestown Cycle Shop this week, with donations flowing in from many different outlets. Our Bronson Rasmussen reports.
Event organizers Keith Martin and Sherry Rowland have done this for the past 8 years, gathering over 90,000 pounds of food and more than $100,000 in monetary donations.
This year, hopefully, we can collect over 6 tons of food and break the 100,000 pound mark. And then if we can get $1 more than we did last year, or the 20,000, that would be wonderful.
Many of the contributors include Pepsi, Cummins, Rand Machine, and the combined efforts of Purcell Middle School students, with many individuals stopping by to give whatever donations they can make. Roland says that the best thing to donate includes non-perishable foods like canned goods, as well as monetary donations.
Fruits, vegetables, paper items, and any canned goods would be perfectly fine.
All donations will go directly to the St. Susan Center to help with the over 20,000 meals prepared each year.
Where we help people every day, about 120 folks every day, and we've served over 20,000 meals this year.
While the event focuses on donations, Martin believes there is so much more.
And it's not just the donations but it's to bring the light of St. Susan's and the wonderful work that they do in our community.
Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. The event will continue through Saturday at 2 o'clock in Jamestown Cycle Shop's parking lot. A local waterway will see improvements thanks to a recent grant funding that was awarded to the city of Jamestown. Mayor Eddie Sundquist's office announced that the municipality has secured $1.83 million in funding, with most of the money going to the Chattacoin River Basin enhancements and a new comprehensive plan. Proposed enhancements include signature gardens, murals, and amphitheater-style tiered seating, place-marking items, a kayak boat launch, dock, and even a visitor center. The improvement to navigation safety and obstacles will also be installed. Now, $450,000 was also awarded by New York State to the Zone Project at the Northwest Arena, a new indoor activity venue for kids here in Jamestown. The spirit of giving back around the holidays has made its way to Heritage Village in Gary as the local nursing home rewards their workers in a big way. Our Julia Gress has more on how the nursing home is saying thank you.
3 local nursing home employees won vacations courtesy of Heritage Ministries Management as a way to say thank you for their perseverance and hard work throughout the pandemic.
Our hearts were really, how do we help everyone on the front lines?
Following a company-wide nomination process, 3 grand prize winners were selected. Charity Dowd, Wendy Kackermeyer, and first place winner Angie Johnson, who won a trip worth $3,000 and 5 days paid time off.
It's more than humbling because the people I work with are amazing. I've watched everyone in the kitchen just sacrifice time. They come in early, stay late. They do extra positions because we've lost so many staff with the shot mandates and everything. We're kind of a skeleton crew at times, but we get it done.
In addition to the grand prize, Kackermeyer won a $1,500 trip and 3 days paid time off, while Dowd will receive a trip worth $500 and 1 day paid time off.
But honestly, everybody in every facility deserves this.
The CEO hopes the winners use the vacation time to do something they never would have thought possible and make a dream come true.
I've been personally struggling with managing work and stress, and how do you refresh, and how do you stay in touch with your faith, and how do you keep plugging through when every day is a new mandate. And for me, you just think about, how do our employees feel as they're getting masked up every day? So for me, it was really thinking about, how do I refresh, how do they refresh?
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, incredible. Heritage says the 3 winners represent different areas of staff which often go unrecognized. Someone from dietary, the medical records team, and activities department were all chosen. Really awesome. And I hear that going forward there could be more prizes rolling out to those who likely received the Heritage Golden Ticket. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. We thank you for joining us here for WNY News Now on Facebook Live. Good to see Cindy. Good to see Renee, Tom, and Brian. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful Friday. And we thank you for joining us on 716 on Roku as well. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us live with that. And it's sunshine abode right now, Dakota.
Yes, it is. The sun has came out for the afternoon hours. You can see over the Randolph Beaches and Crane sky cam. The sun is out, and it's going to be that way through the afternoon. 39 with a dew point of 28. And the radar and satellite, nice and clear. Really no clouds around for the afternoon, and it's going to stay that way. So it's really going to be a fantastic afternoon. Not as warm as it was yesterday, but it's still going to be a nice day. We started the day here at 31 here in town, 32 Randolph, also in Clymer, 36 Fredonia, and 32 in Warren. So again, not as chilly as last night or as the night before, but it's winter time. So 37 to 45 through the afternoon today, much cooler. This is still above average though. The average high is around 36, partly to mostly sunny. It still will be breezy though, with a west wind 10 to 20 with some gusts around 30 miles an hour. But tomorrow is a whole different story. The weather goes downhill. We've got every precipitation you can think of, including the kitchen sink, and we'll have that Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-day forecast later on in the show for you, so stay with us.
New York's Ethics Commission has more work to do if they want to seize the millions of dollars former Governor Andrew Cuomo earned writing a book about the COVID-19 pandemic. That's according to the state's Attorney General's office. The Joint Commission on Public Ethics Monday gave Cuomo 30 days to turn over all money he was paid for by the publisher of his book, American Crisis: Leadership Lessons Learned from the COVID Pandemic. In a letter to the commission yesterday, however, the AG's office says more steps have to be taken before they would get involved in trying to collect the money, like producing an investigative report outlining which laws were violated and what sums of penalties the group is seeking. New York State's Department of Labor has delayed lowering the overtime threshold for farm workers. State Senate George Borrello has called it a sound decision as the government agency seeks to gauge more public feedback. The senator has called on the Farm Wage Board to reject the changes, saying they will put hardworking farmers out of business. Specifically, he's concerned with the newly created Farm Wage Board, which is expected to recommend lowering the threshold from 60 hours to 40 hours a week, a move he says our local farmers couldn't afford. The agency will host another round of public hearings on January 4th, 11th, and 18th. Borrello says these sessions will offer added opportunities for farmers to weigh in. Well, election legislation was at the forefront of debate this week in the Pennsylvania House. In addition to passing an election funding bill, House Republicans are working to pass constitutional amendments which Democrats call an attack on voting access of democracy. One amendment would enhance voter ID requirements. The other calls for the Secretary of the Commonwealth to be elected by voters, not appointed. Democrats say Republicans are constitutional amendments for political gain and election influence.
When you don't get your way, you just can't keep continuing to introduce constitutional amendments and put things on the ballot. That's not what our republic was designed to do. People elect us to represent them.
Other measures like House Bill 1800 focus on election security. Democrats argue the bill, along with others, restrict voting access by shorting several voting application deadlines. Well, coming up, the latest on President Biden's Build Back Better plan, why it won't likely pass before this holiday deadline. And later, we meet a new furry friend in our Pet of the Week segment. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Hi, I'm Al Steffens, owner of Chautauqua Comics. For the last 28 years, we have been your premier retailer of comic books. But we have so much more.
Located at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown, the shelves are stocked with everything from superhero to classic G.I. Joe and Star Wars. Looking for Pokemon? Chautauqua Comics has it all.
If you have any questions, stop in today or give us a call. Chautauqua Comics, Al speaking.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
The CDC is recommending Moderna and Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccines over Johnson & Johnson's now. The new recommendation follows additional data which indicates that a blood clotting syndrome associated with the J&J shot is more common than previously believed. The CDC has lodged 54 U.S. cases of a form of thrombosis called TTS since the J&J vaccine became widely used. Vaccine-related blood clotting are not serious and resolve after time, but 9 people have died, specifically 7 women and 2 men. The overall risk of developing the condition is less than 4 per 1 million doses given, officials say. But with the safety and effectiveness of the mRNA vaccines well established, the panel says Moderna and Pfizer should be a first choice. A federal judge overturned an opioid settlement of more than $4 billion yesterday. The settlement had given Purdue Pharma, the maker of the prescription painkiller OxyContin, and its owner, the Sackler family, broad protection against civil litigation. It also resolves all outstanding civil suits against Purdue Pharma. The bankruptcy court said it lacked the statutory authority to give the Sackler family those protections, saying they are not permitted under bankruptcy code. Purdue Pharma, which said it would appeal the ruling, declared bankruptcy in 2019. That put on hold thousands of lawsuits filed against the company. And President Joe Biden is acknowledging his Build Back Better economic plan won't pass the Senate by Christmas. The president says negotiations with Joe Manchin will cause lawmakers to miss that deadline. He says the team is still in talks with the West Virginia senator and that he still thinks the bill will eventually pass. Some Democrats expressing frustration over Manchin's desire to budget the Child Tax Credit Act for 10 years instead of 1. Manchin has said he thinks it will become an annual credit and should be budgeted accordingly. The change would push the legislation over the senator's spending cap of $1.75 trillion. The race is on to get your holiday shopping done with barely a week out from Christmas. This mad dash to flocking to the stores might cause some to fall victim to holiday scams. Erie News Now's Elena Jonathan went to Mercyhurst University to get some advice from a cybersecurity professor there on what red flags we should be on the lookout for.
The holiday rush is in full swing as people head over to malls or to their computers to find the last-minute gifts. But this is the time of the year where scammers try to make their money.
They collect information before they start spamming and targeting people, and they pretend usually to be from organizations that a certain individual could know.
Holiday scammers is what cybersecurity expert Christopher Mansour is describing. When they call you, they're trying to get you to act fast and act now.
There is a problem that you need to act immediately on to solve, or there's a big prize that is waiting for you if you acted and followed their instructions.
2 major red flags, says Mansour. A reputable business or organization won't call you on the phone demanding payment. When a scammer is trying to get an extra buck out of consumers, it's usually through sketchy transactions.
This form of payment could be in a form of gift cards or in form of money transfer like Western Union.
That's another sign to not give out any more information. These modern-day Grinches might also send out phishing emails to try and get you to hand over personal information. Take time to read those thoroughly.
Look for typos. Look for the way the email is formatted.
Elena Jonathan, Erie News Now.
Elena, thank you. Good advice. Well, all the holidays, family, and all of those Yuletide traditions coming down, including that tradition of the really ugly sweaters. Love them or hate them, they're here every year. And Christmas might not be until the 25th, but National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day is today. It's observed every year on the 3rd Friday of December since 2011, and the day has become a tradition of its own. In recent years, National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day has expanded and is now celebrated around the world. I remember our ugly Christmas sweaters, Dakota. We would sport them every year at the Jamestown Holiday Parade, and because I missed you this year, I decided not to do it. I couldn't do it without you, so we'll be back next year.
Well, I hope to, if the world doesn't,
Yeah. Wow. I'm a half glass full kind of person. Let us know what you guys think about in the comments down below. I think that we should be continuing on this track, hopefully. And we did it this year, right? And it was a big success. So.
Well, I guess getting off this and going back to the original topic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really own any ugly sweaters or not. I don't think I do.
That's true. I have too many to count for. I think it's 3. And they're both like very ridiculous. They have lights on them, and I think one's a deer's rear end, I'm pretty sure, like a reindeer. So
Well,
there's multiple sides to Santa.
Well, I mean, our buddy John Stalen down at Erie News Now, he has a sweater with a llama on it, and he wears it during Christmas time.
Yes.
So, I mean, some people think it's ugly, some people think it's great. So
I like it. I think, why not? You know what? A lot of people, they're like, let's be
Doesn't he have
dressed
a
to
name for the
nines.
llama?
I think he does.
I can't think
know
of
what
it
it is, though.
at the moment, but yeah.
That
He's got
llama-
a llama sweater.
Yeah.
So
That llama probably was hot the last couple of days with all this warm air we've had this December.
yeah, it was. Now, even though it was warm yesterday, wasn't a record breaker. 58 was the observed high, and actually, coincidentally, we forecasted 58, so we hit that right on the mark. The record for the 16th is 60, set back in 1975. But even though it wasn't a record breaker, it was still warm. As a matter of fact, it ranks as the third warmest December 16th on record, dating all the way back to 1895. That's when records started being kept here in the city of Jamestown. So the third warmest December 16th on record. That's a mouthful, but that's where it ranked yesterday. Wasn't a record breaker, but it came close to it though. And it was a windy day yesterday. The Fredonia Mesonet site, 53 mile per hour wind gust. Dunkirk 45, Jamestown at the airport 35, Clymer 33, also in Randolph, and Olean 24. So it was a windy day yesterday. It's still going to remain a little bit breezy through the day today. Hey, we've got that big orange blob or yellow blob. It actually shows up as white or kind of red here on the News Now cam. 36 right now with a west wind of 10 and the wind chill down to 32. So it's an overall nice day and it's warmer. It's not as warm as it was yesterday, but it's still above average. So high pressure has kind of moved in now, but this high is going to sneak on out of here. That's going to allow our next storm system to come in tomorrow, and it's going to be everything, including the kitchen sink tomorrow. So let's go through future scan here. So really nothing through the day, mostly partly to mostly sunny. As we go into the overnight hours, we're going to start to see this line of precipitation moving basically from south to north through the overnight hours to tomorrow morning. We're going to see a few mixed rain and snow showers, but notice what pops up here, this pink line. This is going to be a mixture of sleet and maybe some freezing rain through the early part of Saturday morning, and then ultimately we'll start to see the warm across the southern portion of the region.
Go up in smoke.
And mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have in mind to always first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help animals find their forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society in my favorite segment, the Pet of the Week. Amanda Sublett introduces us to this week's featured furry friend.
Hello, it's Amanda with the Chautauqua County Humane Society. This is my friend Smidge. He's about 2 years old. He does like to be on the lazy side. He naps a lot, but what you don't see is that energetic side of him. He can get really rowdy. He loves to play. He's very friendly. He has, you can see, little play nibbles there, but he doesn't mean any harm. He's just being sweet and social. Smidge is going to be visiting the Chautauqua Mall this weekend on Saturday from 12 until 4. Looking for his forever home in hopes that somebody might come by and visit him, take him home. That's a good boy.
And Smidge looking like a really chill friend there, and Amanda, thank you. And again, if you want to learn more about our friend Smidge, of course, you can visit him at the Chautauqua Mall Saturday at noon, as she mentioned. Or you can contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society at 716-665-2209. Of course, chqhumane.org is the place to log on. They have so much more to offer there as well, where you can read more about the animals and really get to know them one-on-one, which I think is so incredible. They have a write-up, and then obviously you can schedule a time to visit them and see great friends like Smidge. He looks like he could be a real good Christmas pal for a lot of folks. Now, Dakota, you had a cat, I believe, right? Did he ever climb in the Christmas tree at all?
No, she would not. She knew better not to. Well, actually, I think one year she did, like, if there were, like, the decorations on the lower part of the tree that kind of hang down near the floor. I think when she was younger, I think she would, like, kind of bat at him a little bit. But
my mom's cats, she has 2 new kittens, and they are really bad, like in the tree full force. And it's actually interesting. My mom adopted 2 kittens. One was for my sister, and she was holding on to her, but then she fell in love with them, so she kept them both. So they adopted a third from the same litter, and now my sister has their brother. And they were all over for Thanksgiving. And the 3 of them were in the tree at one point. It was really hysterical. I couldn't believe it. I'm surprised the tree hasn't fallen over yet.
Well, you see, that's the reason why we will never have another cat, because we will never have another cat like the one we had. She was just perfect in every way.
And that's the hard thing. It's like when you find the one, you find the one. That's for sure. Well, we thank you for finding your #1 source for news here in Jamestown. That's a little biased, but
you're still
I think it's true.
the one. Still the one.
Still
I run
favorite
to.
one.
Never mind.
That's it for us today.
Have a good weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully you get your Christmas shopping done.